praises and honor and glory to Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Double honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who rule well and have taught us his word in truth and sincerity, and peace and mercy to the whole floor elect. Starting with the 144,000 that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. All right, and the rest of you that sincerely believe. So in today's class, it's going to be another edition of Doomsday Prophecies. And we're going to get into, a couple different topics, as you see, various topics. But we're going to touch up on, really, man, as we crouch closer and closer to Yahushai's coming, Yahushua's return, there's only so much to really talk about, and we're going to sound like a broken record, and that's good. That's beautiful, because all there's left, that shows you how much closer we are to salvation, right? Because all there's left is the destruction of this place, the MOTB. Let me say it in order. The MOTB, and this is all Jacob's trouble, the crashing of this economy, MOTB, and then World War III, which comes with the destruction of America and, the deliverance of the elect. Those are really the only four things to be talking about. There's other little things that go on, but those are the four major prophecies that to manifest themselves so we can get up out of here. So Malak, I know you always have a opening precept.
Khan,
so you can bring that out.
Khan, wow. I'm going to go straight to Isaiah 26 and 20, and I'll read 20 and 21. Right. The 19th verse goes into the elect, how the Lord raised up dead men, the figure of speech, and bring them alive to sing, right, to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom and the destruction that's coming. So Isaiah 26 and 20 now says, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. So we know, simply put, the shutting of that door in regards to the truth, the message that is given them, right? And also it prefigures who is shutting the door, right? Spiritually, if you can see it. Okay, you folks at home, right? And those chambers are going into actually the
but it's just, you got to remember, though. There you go. That's what we got to mention first. Yeah.
Yeah, the chariot.
No. I'm saying that's what you got to mention first. Yeah.
Right. Hide thyself as if it were a little moment until the indignation is passed over. Again, that it's dark way of saying in the truth, the way in the life, hide thyself in him. He's going to hide us. Okay. Verse 21, it says, "For behold."
Yeah, because hold on.
Go ahead.
The reason why it starts with being hidden in the scriptures is because the scriptures are a secret. This is a secret, and it's not manifest to everybody. It's only manifested to the elect. So the elect are hidden in this truth because only they know the truth.
Beautiful. That's right. Verse 21, Isaiah 26 and 21. "For behold, the Lord," it's italicized there, Yehovah Hashem Yahushai, I'm going to say that, "cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity." Okay. "The earth also shall disclose her blood and shall no more cover her slain."
Yep. That's why this devil is being exposed, right? This devil is being exposed for all his atrocities and his wickedness, his murders, and his evils. And that's how the Most High always gets down before he destroys the kingdom, is he exposes the kingdom. Right? And that's the phase that we're in. We're in the exposing phase. And we're getting real close to the destruction phase.
A quick precept.
Come on.
Based on what you brought out, as in it's not made known to each and every one that claims to love the Lord, which in all truthfulness, who they're referring to is not the same person we're trying to make known. There's a whole separate entity, right, That's a whole other deity, and it's false. All right. So we're here to reintroduce, right, the true power, right, of the earth, the whole realm, the whole cosmos, right, and the power, the true living power. We say God, for lack of a better term, but the true power, the Most High Creator. His name is Yahweh, and his Son name is Yahweh Shai, who is about to redeem his elect of the nation of Israel. All right, which what Malak went into about the chariots, and you rightfully said that you can't forget about the chariots because that's our salvation. That's the way out of here.
That's right.
But back into Deuteronomy 30 and so like at 29 and 29, what you said a month. The secret things. So a mystery is like into a secret because it's not made known, right? But now we're here to shed light on it, right? The secret things belong unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. It says Lord or God there, but we know, right? And we like to extol or put emphasis on those names because those names carry volume. It weighs volume and has a reputation to it as mercy and judgment. All right. So the Yahweh Shai, but those things which are revealed belong unto us, right? And the us is going to who? The Israelite, the 144,000, first and foremost, and the 1/3, because the 144,000 would be judges, kings, right? And the 1/3 would be like who the Lord has chosen, who are predestined to get out of the way of destruction. All right. So belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. Okay, so first and foremost, we're going to put the Yahweh Shai's laws, statute, commandment before anything else. All right, even though we're commanded to, be peaceable with all men and basically live by the law of the land, but not if it contradicts with what was righteousness according to the Bible. All right, so yeah, that's it on that.
Okay, Khan.
You got a quick perspective back, Kusha?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, going into the topic, Doom. We know this place is a sinful nation, along with the other nations, the heathens. So this is a book of Isaiah 1 and 4 in GNT, and it reads, "You're doomed, you sinful nation, you corrupt and evil people." That's going into 2/3 of Israel. Your sins drag you down. You have rejected the Lord Yahweh. The more sins you built in this place, the more you're gonna look into. You're gonna look worse. Read the Holy One of Israel and have turned your backs on him. So yeah, like 2/3 turn your backs on the Holy Father, going like into other gods, like the brother Kasad just mentioned it.
Khan. So I got two clips here. The first clip is going to be concerning war and the hatred of these nations and how that's brewing up. And we're really witnessing, the manifestation of the third woe right in front of our eyes, if you have the eyes to see. So I'm going to play that, and then obviously we'll pause it and get some precepts out.
America, because we have to say God bless. We're lucky we're still. So I just want to say God bless America, because we have to say God bless. We're lucky we're still here, and this whole thing could lead. I think this could lead to World War III very easily. Could very easily lead to World War III.
I think you were talking about denuclearization, and that's where the cutting of the spending came in.
I never said cut. No, it's not in these days. I'd love to cut defense spending, but not now, because you have China, you have Russia, you have a lot of problems out there. No,
in fact,
no, what I have said is, we spend a lot of money on nuclear missiles, nuclear weapons. The level of destruction is beyond anything you can even imagine. It's just bad that everybody has to spend all this money on something that, if it's used, it's probably the end of the world.
But so Russia could be given the Donbass in addition to hanging on to Crimea, even though they invaded Ukraine. Quickly, if you can, please. Arthur, we have to ask.
And, 2 years ago, the talk of war, and I'm going to get that precept, the rumor of war hasn't been as loud as it is now. Now that's all you ever hear. And you have if it's not trade war, you have threats of World War III, nuclear war. If it's not trade war, you have threats of nuclear war. And then if it's not war, then you got this whole tariff business going on, which is a collapsing of the economy. That's all that's really going on with the tariffs. So if you can't see that we're nearer to the prophecy, that we're nearer to the day of the Lord now than we ever been before, you're most likely going to take the MOTB.
That's right.
The scriptures say what? How do we measure the times? We measure the times through prophecy. So if you can't see the times that we're in, that means you don't know prophecy. If you don't know prophecy, you're going to take the MOTB.
Ask ourselves, is it in our national interest? Is it realistic? We've talked to the Europeans about this and the Ukrainians. Are we going to drive every Russian off of every inch of Ukrainian soil, including Crimea? And what the strategy of the Biden administration was as long as it takes, as much as it takes, no matter what the timeline is, which is essentially endless warfare in an environment that we're literally losing hundreds of thousands of people in a matter of months and could escalate into World War III. So we can talk about what's right and wrong, and we also have to talk about the reality of the situation on the ground. And that's what we are doing through diplomacy, through shuttle diplomacy, through proximity talks. And it astounds me how that is criticized.
Boy, oh boy.
So let me get this here in Matthew 24. Okay, this is where we're at. This is what Yahweh spoke about, and this is where we're at, and this is where we've been for a couple years, but it's been escalating, right? It's been climaxing. It's going to grow until it gets to a climax. Everybody's looking at this so-called peace deal that Trump is supposed to make with Putin, and Putin's kind of reneging on the deal and saying he'll cease fire for 30 days if he receives certain things, but we know, all right, that according to prophecy, and we spoke about this last week on Saturday, that the Most High is going to put hooks in the jaws of these Russians, right, to turn them back. So something's going to happen where it's just not going to work out between Trump and Putin. Okay. And that's going to push off World War III. Now, I've been saying this for a while too, as well, is that the threat of war, right, has always been a motive for these, the top wicked elite, right, to bring in a global rule or global rule. So as the old saying goes, order out of chaos. The threat of war, all right, is what's going to bring in that MOTB. So I got this here in Matthew 24 and 6. I'll just read from 6 to 8. You know what? I'm going to get this in the NLT as well. So Matthew 24, verse 6 in NLT, it says, "You will hear of wars and threats of wars." And that's exactly what we're hearing right now. Everywhere you look, that's what's going on. Whether it's World War or Civil War. It says, don't panic. Yes, these things must take place, but the end won't follow immediately. So we know that things still need to play out. Like what? The MOTB. The MOTB needs to play out. That our temptation needs to play out before World War. Verse 7, "Nation will go to war against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in many parts of the world." Okay.
It says nation should go against nation.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I was reading. I had that article with Trump at mid, but we'll do it after.
No,
Trump,
bring it up. If you got it, you bring it up.
So Trump, and this is today. It says Trump administration no longer requires ban on segregated facilities in government contracts, which means he's about to institute again segregation, right? Which you know what, it will seem like a bad thing for people. I
love Monday.com.
What's Monday.com?
You know, for people who believe in the system and believe, we need to be amongst the other nation. But guess what? in Deuteronomy 7 and 6,
Right.
right, the Most High is about segregation, right? Saying a nation is above another nation, it's saying that, you know, we're not on the same level. Okay. So what he's doing is actually righteous in somewhat, even though he's unrighteous being, but we're not supposed to be mingled with them. The Most High warned us we don't take wives from other nations or give our daughters in marriage with other nations. They're included, right? It was some of the Hamitic people at that time, right? But it goes across the board, man, right? So him bringing this back and people, oh, there's segregation. Hey, it's a good thing, man. We don't want to be amongst you. So we're praying for the kingdom to come, so we'll be amongst our people. And I don't know how to attach it to the. So I send it to you, brother, and then you can attach it to someone wants to read it. Or I can go into if you want me to, but
yeah, if you have it on deck.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, if you have it on deck, go ahead. Yeah.
So I read a bit. It says the Trump administration is no longer requiring an explicit prohibition of segregated facilities in the new government contracts. In February 15th memo from U.S. General Service Administration was first reported by the NPR Tuesday. Segregation is still illegal in the U.S. and the memo states contractors are still subject to laws or civil rights and non-discrimination. But the directive from the GSA, which manages federal property and sources contracting options for other agencies, came in response to the president's Donald Trump executive orders aimed at rolling back diversity, equity, and inclusion in the federal government. Right. So this is what this demon is doing, man. And he thinks, you know, like we're gonna cry about it. We're happy.
Yep, exactly. hey, that's beautiful because he's basically saying he's getting ready to make you Jakes cry.
God.
You know? Because he said he's pulling back on diversity, right?
God.
And you know that's mostly pointing towards even though it includes people who are mentally disabled and whatnot, but it's mostly pointing to you Jakes, you Israelites. You're on your Section 8 stamps, all that's gonna get done and away with, man, by the cruel Lord.
A quick precept.
Yeah.
This is Deuteronomy 32 and verse 8, and it reads. I'm getting an LT. Where's the LT? Everybody, brother's been going to NT lately. I'll join in. LT 32 and 8. So it reads Deuteronomy 32 and 8. It says, when the Most High, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, assigned lands to the nations, when he divided up the human race, he established the boundaries of the people according to the number of his heavenly court. And the heavenly court are us, the children of Israel, man, the sons and daughters of Israel. So we weren't measured amongst you. You know, we're supposed to have a separate place because you heathens do some nasty, disgraceful, and disgusting things, man. Right? So we don't want to be amongst you. So it's a good thing. Thank you.
Hey, let me get that word for you because you just basically broke it down. Yeah, and it didn't the Lord said that he's coming for the controversy of Jacob? So the judgment that the Lord is bringing and the glorification that he's bringing for the elect is going to set a difference between, you know, Israel, and not just Israel in the world, but the elect in the world, the sons of God in the world. So segregate. It says here, so this is the verb. It says separate, right? Someone or something from a general body or class of things. Set apart, right? Lay aside, isolate, divide, literally separate from the flock. Right? Yeah. That was it on that for you?
Now I got one more precept.
Yeah,
2 Corinthians.
Go ahead.
2 Corinthians 6 and verse 17. Wherefore, come out from among them and be ye separate, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and touch not the unclean thing, and I'll receive you. So the unclean thing here is anything that's not in the Bible. That makes you profane. All right. And all you heathens are profane as it pertains to us, right? The hopeful elect, right? And the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. Because you're into idolatry, you're into pedophiles, right? You're into LGBTQism. You know, you eat gross things. You're men think you're women. You know, so it's a good thing. Separate ourselves, man, and it's an order. Lord, that's an order. I'm speaking from the Bible, man. Lord wants is meant to hear this, right? So we ain't losing sleep over this, man. It's a good thing. Separate us.
Gone. Yeah.
If I mix in the animal kingdom right now, you don't see the zebra with the lions chilling.
Con.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. That's right.
That's it about the Torah.
Con.
I believe.
When I listen to these climate lunatics and they talk about global warming, and they say the ocean's going to rise 1/8 of an inch in the next 300 years, and and nobody ever talks about nuclear weapons or some of the other things, but the nuclear weapons in particular right now. And they talk about the climate, and they talk about the dangers of the climate, but they don't talk about the dangers of a nuclear weapon, which could happen tomorrow. They say in 300 years, I watched Biden for years say the existential threat. He loved the term existential threat. Because our greatest existential threat is from the climate. I said, no. The greatest is sitting in shelves in various countries called nuclear weapons that are big monsters that can blow your heads off for miles and miles and miles. And they never mention that.
Deteriorating between China and the United States, with Beijing declaring it's prepared to go to war with America. The alarming words reflect China's fury over Donald Trump's trade tariffs and coincide with a dramatic boost to its defense spending.
Well, the Trump administration, meantime.
Right. So let me get this precept here. This is Psalm 7. Because what he's talking about is true. Trump is on point once again when it comes with these missiles. Everybody's talking about climate change. Climate change. Well, hey, you know, I'm not going to say much on that because we'll get a strike. But the real threat is what he said. All right. So this is Psalm 7 and 13. It reads, or let me start at 9. Psalm 7 and 9. And it reads, "Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. But establish the just, for the righteous power, Yahweh Bashim Shai, trieth the hearts and reigns. My defense is of Yahweh Bashim Shai, which saveth the upright in heart." Yahweh Bashim, go ahead.
That's going into us, right? The hopeful elect. And the reins is basically what you use to control like a horse. Right, so this how we're moving is not according to how we want to move because we're still in His flesh. It's a spiritual thing. So the Lord is using His spiritual prowess, right, to control and to guide us, right, via these lessons, via us going on highways and byways, you know, via our everyday speech, right. The Most High got us in control, right, and also He has the wicked in control because it's all has to come to fruition, right, because it's based on what prophecy, right. So all we do is just reading the Bible, man, but we're just reading it correctly, right? According to the Lord's interpretation.
God. It says, Yahweh Bashim Shai judges the righteous, and Yahweh Bashim Shai is angry with the wicked every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day, man. Every day.
So the Lord is pissed off, man. You know, not that we say it, and like, you know, but we don't. The Lord's pissed off every day.
Yeah, man. And you know, it brings to mind Revelation 18, where it says, "Her sins have reached onto heaven." You know, so that destruction, boy, that destruction, man, it's going to tell you everything that the Lord is going to show you everything the Lord feels against Babylon, man. The way He's going to wipe it out. So, verse 12, it says, "If he turn not, he will whet his sword," right? So if he turned not, so you should know this talking about Israelites, because Esau can't turn from wickedness. That's his rule. If he turn not, he will whet his sword, right? He hath bent his bow and made it ready. And this is what you're seeing. You're seeing that bow being prepared, is being made ready. And you Israelites that want to keep bucking up against the truth, right? Because the truth truly, you didn't reject the truth. The truth rejected you. Okay. You're gonna get caught up with these missiles and get destroyed. You're gonna be missile food. Okay.
Like, were you reading Psalm 7 and 9?
12,
Psalm
12.
7 and 12 now. Yeah, now I'm reading 13. So 13 is the point. It says, he hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. That's just with Esau, Edom.
And we always say that the Most High's army is whatever he chooses. So in this case, it's going to be the nuclear missiles. So he's giving them a charge, right? He's ordereth them, right?
Yes, right.
To go ordain his order,
That's right.
to annihilate the persecutors. And who's been persecuted? Us. By who? Esau, Edom, and you other nations, man.
That's right.
You all call black people. What the hell's a black person? Dead, defunct, dirty, soil, filth.
Yeah.
Pay for all them my words, man.
Yeah.
Shalom, brothers. Y'all Bashim and Shabrakatah. Shalom.
Shalom. Yahbashim and Shabrakatah. So I got this one. I got this precept here too. This is Yahweh's wrath against the nations, and I'm gonna read this in the NLT. This is Isaiah 34:1. So it says, "Come here and listen, O nations of the earth. Let the world and everything in it hear my words." So, hey, we're also prophets of Israel, but we're prophets to the nations as well.
That's right.
Okay, so those words are being heard by the prophets. So best believe the elites of these various countries are watching the videos of the prophets. Okay, particularly with the men of Great Millstone. So it says, go ahead.
Elder. So usually we say these videos are made for the 1/3, and so right that the Lord. This is one verse where the Lord is being inclusive. Like, you come here too. I'm talking to you guys too. Usually, usually the Lord is a whisper in our ears, a mystery. They say, "No, what for that? Come listen to this."
Yeah, that's right. And it's funny when you open your ear to listen to it, it's really doom for you. It's judgment to you.
That's right.
So verse 2, it says, "For the Lord Yahweh is enraged against the nations. His fury is against all their armies. He will completely destroy them, dooming them to slaughter." Verse 3, it says, "Their dead will be left unburied."
Which is like go ahead. Nothing. Speak. So,
no, I was gonna say that. Because when we come down from the chariots, Yahweh of the elect, we're gonna get our slaves to bury the dead, starting with you Edomites. Go ahead.
No, I was saying it's like basically an embarrassing thing to have bodies, right? So the Lord's about embarrassing, you prideful nations, man, right? It's gonna leave you. You kings and so-called queens and whatever title you have for yourself, no one left to bury you. And the Lord promised the fowls of the air some food. So the Lord is about being just to everybody, other creatures, so the birds and crows and ravens and vultures. They got food to eat.
Yep. That's right.
Got a quick percent back, sure.
Hold on, let me finish this up.
Okay. What?
So it says, "Their dead will be left unburied, and the stench of rotten bodies will fill the land. The mountains will flow with their bloods. The heavens above will melt away and disappear like a rolled up scroll." So picture that in your eyes, mind. Okay, that's a missile. That's a heavy destruction upon the country of America and other various parts of the earth.
That's like going into the mushroom cloud, right? Like how the mushroom cloud goes.
That's what that is. Yep. That's right. It says the stars will fall from the sky like withered leaves from a grapevine, and this is really talking about your rulers. It's a metaphor for your rulers. The stars are not literally going to fall from the sky. All the celebrities and the top officials that are regarded as great men in this world, a lot of them are going to get caught up in destruction of the nuclear missiles.
Okay.
A lot of them are going to be saved in the bunkers for slaves for the elect as well.
In the KJV, it says, "And their hosts shall fall down."
There you go.
Just
Their armies.
what you're saying.
Your armies. Yep, exactly. So all these generals and you know, these guys who fly their fighter jets, because in Revelations it talks about it was Michael and his angels versus the dragon, roughly paraphrasing, Satan and his angels, or the dragon and his angels. Right, so that's going to Esau's military, right? So it says, so this is going to be a great event, man. A great event. You're going to see them chairs get busy. It's going to be easy work, and then at the same time, missiles are going to be destroying America. So it says, like withered leaves from a grapevine or shriveled figs from a fig tree. And when my sword was finished its work in the heavens, it will fall upon Edom, the nation I have marked for destruction.
That's right.
Wow.
So Trump's on point. Trump was on point. Right. Last verse, it says, the sword of the Lord Yahweh is drenched with blood and covered with fat, because this place is going to be an altar. America is going to be an altar. As you see here, that's what it's going into, actually. It says, the sword of the Lord Yahweh is drenched with blood and covered with fat, with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of rams prepared for sacrifice. That's you 2/3. And all you heathens are going to get caught up in the destruction of America. Yes, and the Lord Yahweh will offer a sacrifice in the city of Bozrah, which that was a chief city of the Edomites. So the chief city today of the top ruling Edomites is America, the spiritual Bozrah. He will make a mighty slaughter in Edom. That's right.
Ellie, let me get this real quick, because you said so it's going to be literal. Because Esau is a literal man, and the Colonel, so let's get Colonel with Esau. So I typed in American soldiers overweight, and it goes, a significant portion of U.S. active duty members are overweight or obese, with studies showing nearly 2/3, wow, 2/3 meeting criteria for overweight or obesity, posing challenges for military readiness and costing the military billions annually. So that's when because you said with fat,
right. That's funny. That's funny.
6%. Yeah.
Go ahead, Ashar.
Yeah, kind of going into how the Heavenly Father is angry with the wicked. That's also going into 2/3 of our people. Psalms 50 and 16, and it reads, but unto the wicked, Yahweh say, what hast thou to do, declare my statutes, or that thou shalt take my covenant in thy mouth. The point is to verse 17.
Hey, I gotta say, in that verse you just read is twofold. We apply it to Esau a lot, and it's true. It starts with Esau, but also 2/3 of our people, man. You have no right picking up the Bible and speaking it, and that's being shown. Look what you're doing with it. You're butchering the scriptures.
Verse 17. Seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee. And NLT says, for you refuse my discipline and threat my words like trash. According to in God we trust, well, also the same God that we believe in, right?
Yeah, but mainly you Israelites, man. That's mainly you Israelites, really. You know, Esau Edom is going to do what he does. He's guilty by even touching the book, because you're the wicked. But you rebels, man, you're getting a special death too.
That's right.
That's it on that?
Yeah, that was
it. Okay, so a little bit more in here, and then we'll move on to the next clip.
You know, it takes two. Look, it was not going to happen, that war, and it happened. So now we're stuck with this mess. Think of what he stuck me with. Open borders where we have 21 million people came into our country, many of whom should not be here. Many are criminals. Many are criminals. Many murderers, drug dealers, drug lords. We got that. We have the whole mess with Israel on October 7th.
This device.
But the thing, okay,
you
the thing about this
translate
man,
any language without an internet connection. Me and Nets, the cutting-edge two-way instant
Go ahead.
the thing about this man, right? He's talking about people, drug lords, and criminals coming into this country. Notice that when Americans or Canadians want to go to a third world country, nothing is required. No screening, no check is required. So a lot of criminals go to those countries, but when the people from other countries come here, they're vetted, right? So it's actually people who are trying to get a better life majority of the time that come here and sometimes end up being criminals because it's a hard system to fit into. But majority of criminals go to those countries and cause a wreck, man. And no one says anything about it.
It's true. You're right, because the scriptures say that's what Esau does. That's what America does, right? They're actually the criminals, and everybody he's mentioning, that's really America.
That's right.
This guy's a good liar too, man. He lies a lot too, man. He'll say some bullshit just to get people going. You know.
We have all of the ramifications from the worst and dumbest withdrawal in history.
Both Ukraine and Israel were both attacked by aggressors. Is America treating both countries similarly? Are they treating the aggressors similarly?
I think so. Look,
are you favoring one over the other?
They're very different places. Okay, very, very different. You're talking about different levels of power. You're talking about different under attack. And then we came along and did the Abraham Accords, which was unheard of.
China's President Xi Jinping commands the latest session of the National People's Congress, the calculated show of unity and strength, contrasting with the chaos caused by Donald Trump's treatment of America's allies and strategic partners.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people.
The world entering a dangerous new era, Beijing announcing a 7.2% increase to its defense spending after the US president increased tariffs on Chinese imports.
Yeah, and I forgot the prime minister, I think, of France, every male that's over a certain age has to be enlisted or be ready to go to war. Every single male.
Yep. Because
Poland as well.
Poland, right. Right. Go ahead, Maya.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's what I was gonna say. Poland too.
Con. So yeah, these nations are gearing up for war. The Lord is mingling the spirits of the kings of the earth to fulfill his prophecy, man.
If war is what the US wants, be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight till the end.
A threatening message repeated.
Now remember, this is all just because these devils, man, they know what they're doing. You know, war is really it's set up as a form of deception as well, because the war isn't really war. The war itself is something to focus on, but it's really what comes after the war. You know, that's really the focus on, because again, this devil is using the threat of war to implement his new world order. Nothing cries for so-called world peace like world war. So that's why this is being pushed.
A precept.
Con.
This is the book of Psalms 92, and I'll start by 4. So Psalms 92 and 4 reads, "For thou, Yahweh Bahashim Yashai, has made me glad through thy works," right? And the works is basically raising us up, right? Giving us his wisdom, the knowledge and understanding, and us applying it, right? So we're all glad for this, man, because, you know, we don't want to be sleeping, man. Not at this time when all the things are happening.
Yeah, not at this time of the day.
God, right? Noon.
Exactly.
I will triumph in thy works of thy hands, right? And the works of thy hands is flipping them scriptures, man, right? And we want it to be triumphant. You know, we want to be lazy and sluggard, right? We want to be known. You see that the brother passed on to Yahweh Shai. You see how he's remembered? Hey, that's touching, man.
Yeah.
You know, if the Lord wants to take me out, that's how I want to be remembered in this truth, right? And any brothers, I'm sure share the same sentiment. You don't want to hear good riddance. You know what I mean? Verse 5. O Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep.
That's
so
right.
These nations talking about all these, you know, and we just read in Matthew, you hear of wars. So this is a signal, a token, if you will, right, of where we stand, or where we're at as it pertains to prophecy, right? So how deep the Lord is, man. Verse 6, a brutish man knoweth not, neither does a fool understand this. right? You know, so they see this as mere, you know, garbage. You know, they don't know what is it we're talking about. You know, they want to strike our channels. You know what I mean? They call us Black Hebrew Israelites, but it's all good. we know what's up.
That's
Verse 7 and the point. When the wicked spring as a grass, right? And when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, right? He's talking about to make space great again, and it's looking good. It's looking good,
right?
It is they that shall be destroyed forever.
There you go. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You know.
I got a quick one.
Yeah.
Because Trump was talking right at the beginning, right? How God this, God that. So 2 quick precepts in the same chapter. This is Psalms 10 and 4. Real quick, it's the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after power. Right? It says God there, right? And it says our power is not in all his thoughts, right? And we know that this precept also is twofold, but leading into the wicked, right? And also 2/3 of our people. Right, so I just wanted to bring that out, and then I'll jump down in the same book to verse 7. Right, it says
Salaka, because they're basically both parties. Esau has never looked to get right. He's never looked to get right, even though when he was here as Cain, the Lord gave him instructions. Don't you know if you do right, that you be good, you be accepted, but if you do wrong, sin lies at the door. So Esau has never been able to do right, and guess what? You 2/3 have been in that seat too.
That's right.
You 2/3 are in that seat too, man. So both parties have been rejected by the truth.
That's right. That's right. Real quick, verse 7, Psalms 10 and 7 straight says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. So, hey, listen, hey, Trump, when you speak, man, we already know. Okay, meaning, simply put, man, you're reading the Bible, and the Lord have mercy on you for now. Okay, so you can speak what the prophets have said in regards to what they've been given, but now it's plain here in regards to the breakdowns. Right, that's why we do these videos, and we're in spirit and in truth, very careful in how we say it. Right, because this is the work of the Spirit of the Lord. That's all I got on that.
Come.
By China's diplomats in Washington.
We're ready to fight till the end. As Secretary of Defense, how do you take that? Well, we're prepared. Those who long for peace must prepare for war.
Australia's military preparedness tested by three Chinese warships conducting live fire drills and a circumnavigation of the continent.
That, God forbid, a war could happen.
Elbridge Colby, Donald Trump's choice for US defense policy advisor, saying Australia's defense spending is well below the 3% of GDP the president expects.
And then there are reports now that Russia says it will help the United States negotiate a nuclear deal with Iran. What kind of a deal with Iran do you want to do? You said they cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Yeah. Well, there are two ways Iran can be handled, militarily or you make a deal. I would prefer to...
And maybe a brother can get that precept, because remember, this war kicks off with Iran and Russia. Right, so
make a deal, because I'm not looking to hurt Iran. They're great people. I know so many Iranians from this country.
Well, not the leadership.
No, not the leadership. No, they're very evil people. No, but the people of Iran are.
And Salaki, it's really between Iran and Israel, and that war is going to be kicked off when you go back to Albert Pike's plan for all three wars. The third one would come out of the tensions between the Ish, the J-ish, and the Islam State. That's really what will pop it off. And if you look at both of those fighters, or both of those countries, they both have two particular allies. One is the U.S. and the other one is Israel and U.S. and Iran and Russia.
Yeah,
great people, but they had a tough regime, and they'd meet and they'd be shot in the streets. I mean, it was a tough deal. But I would rather negotiate a deal. I'm not sure that everybody agrees with me, but we can make a deal that would be just as good as the one militarily. But the time is happening now. The time is coming up. Something's going to happen one way or the other. I hope that Ron, and I've written him a letter saying, I hope you're going to negotiate, because if we have to go in militarily, it's going to be a terrible thing for them.
You wrote a letter to the Khomeini,
Yes.
I believe. When did you send the letter?
Yesterday.
And you said you better negotiate, or we want you to
I didn't
negotiate?
say you better. I said,
Okay.
I hope you're going to negotiate, because it's going to be a lot better for Iran. And I think they want to get that letter. The other alternative is we have to do something because you can't let them have a nuclear weapon.
No, so Mayan.
Yeah.
You can hold on deck Jeremiah 50 and 45, and you can read it after Trump speaks, I guess.
Come on, I'll just let him finish up here.
There is this lack of coherence, which is alarming.
Oh, that's it, actually. That was it.
So 50 and 45 as...
Go ahead, Maya. That was it.
This is Jeremiah 50 and verse 45. It says, "Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out."
So the least of the flock, right, is the names you can't say.
That's right.
Right? You see how the mess of this world is?
Exactly.
The basis of all of the flock, you can't say their names. Or else you get a strike or your face retribution. But we're here to call it out, and we're speaking, to the men of the Lord, and we know who it is that we can't mention. So it says, surely, like this is what's gonna happen. The least of the flock shall draw them out. They're gonna pull that great kingdom Babylon, right, to fight into this war.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Because you know what, Salake, I just want to say, because remember they're so-called building the third temple, right? And they got those heifers, right? And remember, to build that temple, you got to get rid of the Dome of the Rock. And hey, we know how Ishmael gets down, man. You take that place, man. It's gone.
Gone. Finish it off?
Okay, yeah. And it says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them.
And that's a distinction, right? The Lord is going to make desolate, which means demolish, right? They're going to vanish, and that's what's prophesied in the Bible, right? So don't get mad at us for reading the Bible, man, and telling you the correct interpretation.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right? That's it in that.
That's it. Okay, I got one. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 30. It says, also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You break it down. You're good.
And with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And the Carmanians is going to the Iranians, man. Right? They're gonna come out with great wrath, because these people they don't care about how they fight. They fight like a raging bull, right? They're going out with all power, all might. They don't care about nothing, and they're going to pretty much assist in destroying the land of the Assyrians, which is Babylon the Great. We know that's America, but also they're going to take a huge, they're going to play a huge role in the destruction of the land of the tiny hats.
Yep. And remember too, it's prophecy. Their nature is prophetic, because that's what the angel told Abraham about Ishmael. That he would be a wild man, and he would be at war with with all nations, so to speak, roughly paraphrasing. So that's a prophetic spirit they have on them for that particular purpose.
Precept.
Con.
This is Joel 3, because you got that little tiny, slanted-eyed bastard talking tough, right? like one-on-one, like how did he get to be the Minister of Defense? This is Joel. Go
ahead. Before you jump into that one, let me just finish what Amat said.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it says Genesis 16 and 12. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him.
Beautiful.
And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
Right.
Yeah, that's the precept you're talking about.
That's right. Beautiful. Yeah, and that's why Trump said, they can't have nuclear weapons. If they have nuclear weapons, it has to be done through a deal that I have control over, right, via Russia. But he said, hey, if you don't consider this deal, then we're going to have to do this through the military. And you know what that means. So,
and that vibration, that precept was going into Ishmael, Now, the Armenians, which is their ancient name of Armenians, of the Iranians, they're not Ishmaelites. They're actually Elamites.
Elamites.
Right?
Yeah.
But the vibration of Ishmael has overshadowed them, right? Because they're in that Muslim mindset.
Well,
right?
you got Ishmael in there too.
In there, mixed in there.
Yeah.
Everything is in there, of course.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was just making a clarification that that priest is for the Ishmaelites, but Ishmael, that's his thing where you want to cut your hand off, you steal some bread. You know what I mean? And you know what? Some of those laws are righteous, man.
Yep.
Hey. Yeah. But one client in Dubai said, "Hey, was it in Dubai or somewhere else? But if you steal, like, you get your hand cut off. So, like, no, you can leave your wallet." Saudi Arabia, right. No one steals anything there, man.
Yeah, and if your woman is a hussy, she gets stoned, man.
That's right.
Beautiful.
And that's scriptural. Not saying we condone it in this kingdom or tell them to do that, but hey, no, I'll leave it at that. Next thing you know, right?
That's it.
Joel 3.
You'll be a wild man. That's right.
God.
Go ahead.
Joel 3 and 10, because we know that Malak can speak on this, because about those Asian movies of karate. Remember the cat's pajamas, right? And and it would be all old school Chinese, and that was only in the 70s, where they were like pulling those carts and jumping around and all this stuff, and it's all rocks, right? Farming, it's all grass, whatever. So this is Joel 3 and 10. It reads, "Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong." And that's what that Moabite was saying, right? And the Moab is the ancient name for you so-called Chinese people and your descendants, right? There's only two of you, Ammon and Moab. So you guys have hidden yourself under the banner of Filipinos, Taiwanese,
North Koreans,
confusion, man. Moab and Ammon.
That's right. That's
right?
That's it.
Verse 11, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathens, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause the mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Let the heathens be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahushaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathens round about." The Most High is sanctioned, right? All you heathens to go into the valley of decisions, within the Levant there, and look, it's going to kill you.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, man. And those mighty ones that the Lord's talking about bringing down are those top nations, those juggernauts of the nations that you see: Russia, America, and China.
That's it on that, brother.
And the EU, of course.
Yeah, and you got EU too. Yeah, mostly West nations of EU. Those are mostly the strong nations there, economically at least. I got this real quick, and then we'll move on to the next clip. Revelation 17 and 15, and we all know this precept. It says, then the angel, this is an NLT, so it says, "Then the angel said to me, the waters where the prostitute is ruling represents masses of people of every nation and language," right? And that prostitute is, again, America. And sitting upon those waters, that goes into what the pressure, right? And the hold that America has on these nations, the grip through what? The wine, but also mainly finance. Okay. It says verse 16, "The scarlet beast and its 10 horns," right? NATO and the EU, "all hate the prostitute. They will strip her naked, eat her flesh, and burn her remains with fire." So nuclear warfare, man.
That's right.
Well, the Bible speaks of the day that will come and shall burn like an oven.
That's right.
So,
that's right. That's right. And let me actually read verse 17, because I had mentioned multiple times that the threat of war will bring in the MOTB, and that's how these devils have constantly worked throughout World War I and World War II and all the civil wars as well. So it says, verse 17, "For Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has put a plan into their minds, a plan that will carry out his purpose, which is the MOTB. Okay, they will agree to give their authority to the Scarlet Beast, and so the words of Yahweh Ba'Hashim Yahshua will be fulfilled.
That's
Okay,
right.
so all these nations, man, eventually are going to partake in the CHIP technology, because that's going to be the new wave. That's going to be the new movement. Hey, Europe, EU, what did they say? October 25th. That's their deadline for a digital euro coin. A digital euro coin. October 25th. Okay, so I'll play a little bit of this clip here. This is basically going to, the crashing of this economy, and so on and so forth.
Back to World Affairs and Context, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. U.S. consumers are becoming more and more pessimistic as the United States president points to a recession being inevitable. Market probabilities of a U.S. recession are rising. 5-year treasuries are now priced 2% chance of a recession within the next 12 months, up from 45% in November. Recession odds per by the Russell 2000 index spiked to 48%. S&P 500 odds of a downturn jumped to 22%, and base metals also show a 52% probability of a downturn. A recent JP Morgan report put the chance of recession at 40%, up from 30% at the start of.
And believe me that these numbers are way higher. They're just telling you what they got to tell you. It's a 100% chance this place is going to hit a recession. There's a 100% chance.
This year, warning that U.S. policy was, quote, tilting away from growth. And that is, to put it mildly, of course. U.S. consumer sentiment.
So she mentioned something about, the cause of this is because of U.S. policy, right? Policy is tilting away from growth. Well, the policy that Esau has set up has never been about growth for America, right? As the scripture talk about, I'm going to get this. I got two pieces I'm going to bring out. Isaiah 10. And 1. So Isaiah 10 and 1. And I guess it's in the NLT already, so I'll just read it there. And it says, "What sorrow awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws," right? Like these tariffs. These tariffs are unfair laws, right? They're taxes. But look what it says. It says, well, they're not necessarily laws, but they're taxes. It's a little different, but it's in the same spirit. So it says, verse 2, "They deprive the poor of justice. They deny the rights of the needy among my people. They prey on widows and take advantage of the orphans." And again, Esau has done that through his policies, but he's also done that through these tariffs. These tariffs are doing the exact same thing. People are gonna start to feel it, even worse than they're feeling it now. And people are killing themselves now. Getting on internet and crying their eyes out. Last precept here, Psalms 94. Going to these policies, Psalms 94 and 19. And I'm gonna read this in King James. So Psalms 94 and 19, and it reads, "In the multitude of my thoughts," no, verse 20, the point's in 20. So Psalms 94 and 20, "Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee," right? Being Esau, Edom, "which frameth mischief by a law." You see? And that's what they're doing. They're framing mischief by their laws, by their policies. And the mischief is basically a complete collapse of the economy, and not just the economy of America, but the world, global economy.
Didn't it say in the Apocrypha, let me get it, but the law?
Yeah.
It says, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 11.
Do this.
"Let our strength be the law of justice." So that's.
Oh yeah. Con.
Right. "For that which is feeble is found to be of nothing worth." So basically, you're saying everything. We're the one that's are looked at as feeble, and nothing we say held up on high because we're the poor men. So when the rich man speaketh, so everyone looks to what they're saying, what we're saying, which is the truth, right? It's shunned, right?
Gone. Okay, so play a little bit more in this clip, and that'll be it.
2019. Is it time to prepare for a recession? It appears that key economic data does point to a significant downturn ahead. First, labor market is cooling. 588,000 Americans lost their jobs last month. This is the second highest drop since.
Yeah, in 1 month, 500,000. Is it Canadians or Americans? She said that lost their jobs. Americans lost their job in 1 month.
Wow!
So it's about to get this summer. It's about to get hot, man. It's gonna get hot. Lord willing.
That's summer.
Yeah.
It says the precept you read just now, Psalms 94 and 20.
Yeah.
And what sticks out to me there is says he frameth mischief by law, right? Yeah. And this is what you see this guy doing, because he's using the laws to justify firing these people, really, creating mischief in the economy, and it's going to get even worse because Elon Musk is trying to get his robots to actually replace people, right? So
he's doing it.
He did it.
Yeah, he's doing it. Yeah.
So that precept, he framed mischief by law, is very powerful, man.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
And you notice he's signing those executive orders, and it's always in that frame.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
I have that precept you were looking for. It's in Wisdom of Solomon 2, if I may read it, because it links perfectly what brother said.
Yeah, he got it.
I got it.
You read it.
I read it.
Wisdom 2 and 11?
Yeah,
I read it.
Yeah.
But bring it again if the spirit.
Read from the 10th verse, real quick. Go ahead, brother.
No,
He already read it. He just read it. Like he just read it. He just read it, man. Let me play this.
No, you take your time. Play it. Go ahead. It's all good.
88,000 Americans lost their jobs last month. This is the second highest drop since the 2020 pandemic, according to the household survey. People working part-time jobs while seeking full-time employment jumped 460,000 in February to 4.9 million people. This is the highest number since May of 2021.
So 4.9 million people in 1 month, or 400, basically in total, 400,000 people in 1 month decided I'm going to work a part-time job and a full-time job. And it doesn't tell you how many of those people have families, have kids, because you only have so much time in a day. So you run mad. Man. You run yourself dry. It's the dream of America. The American dream is run out. It's run out. It's done. Okay. So this is the decline of an empire, is what we're witnessing.
That's right.
Over the last 2.5 years, the number of underemployed Americans, highest number since May of 2000 in February to 4.9 unemployment, jumped 460,000 in February to 4.9 million people. This is the highest number since May of 2021. Over the last 2.5 years, the number of underemployed Americans has risen by 1.3 million individuals.
Con. 1.3 million. The rise of people without jobs. Hey, this is again, famous mischief by law. The ultimate mischief is the MOTB. But what is he going to do? He's going to condition people to it by what? UBI. The more people that have less jobs, the more opportunity for UBI. And this is what you're seeing.
That's right.
And this say we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man.
He is slowing considerably. Several weeks ago, President Trump, in his congressional address, discussed a variety of government actions that would reshape the U.S. economy with potentially positive and negative.
UHI. It's not UBI anymore. They're making it where it's universal high income.
Wow.
There's more.
See how this devil, he's watching the prophets, man. He's watching us, starting with the apostles and others on down. Because every time we push out what he's doing, he switches the turn. So now it's UHI,
Mhm.
Oh man.
He's working.
Consequences. It was a great upbeat speech, but the reality is quite different. Since the end of 2024, consumer confidence has slid sharply, and the U.S. economic growth continues to slow. And this is not something.
So people aren't buying as much. The consumer confidence has went down considerably, as you were saying. So people are not buying anymore. So the spirit of Egypt is failing. Okay.
That can be reversed overnight. The Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta's daily tracking estimate of U.S. real GDP growth in the first quarter is actually negative 2.4%. It is expected to continue, if not worsen, into the second quarter of this year. So is now a good time to start preparing for a recession? I would say so.
So, like, may I read this quick?
I'll get this one precept.
Bring it out.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is going into Trump. Since Trump was inaugurated on January 20th, more than 100,000 federal employees may have lost their job. And when you think about it, those people, they were making big money. You know?
Yeah,
So whatever they have, he's going to lose it. And another 75,000 by March 13th. So these guys is wiping out the entire work with the government. You know? And when you think about it, like, oh, let me get a job with the government. It's so bullshit.
Yeah.
You think you have like your 401k, your pension. It's so bullshit at the end of the day.
Yep. Hey, the brother, the elder Ariala was doing a lesson. He was talking about, you know, how he's into the economy and all that kind of stuff. He does the algo updates. Him and Elder Require Come. And he was mentioning, if brothers, you know, if you have a job, keep that job, man, because it's going to get tight. Employers are not going to want to employ people when the market is tight, when they're being put the squeeze on. So if you're job hopping, stop doing that. Keep the job you got and bear it, man. Just bear it.
Yes, boss.
I'm chuckling because they want to kick you out as you speak, brother, right now.
Yeah. And ultimately, man, it's going to get to a point where we're out here, just relying on Yahweh Shai. You know,
That's it.
That's right.
It's all beautiful. Let me get this. Isaiah 19:3, and then we'll close up. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers. You know, and that's, you know, happening on a level right now, but it's going to get even more evident as we get closer and closer to the downfall of this kingdom. And to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord.
Beautiful.
And a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the Lord Yahweh of hosts.
Right, and the fierce king could be, you know, the Orange Man himself, because you know he's just doing some way far left outlandish shit, man. Where you know he must have, you know, some other plan, because everyone's hating on him. Even his people that voted him in are like speaking against him now.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're hoping it's him, man, because you know.
Remember ancient Rome, there was an uprising because first the economy was failing, then there was famine because people weren't getting any food, which is the same exact thing that's happening in America right now. So the people them started an uprising. The people them started going against the government. So we know this is going to happen. An uprising is going to happen over there, man, because the people them are rebelling against that man. And they're going to come together and they're going to do another insurrection, but this time against him. Yeah, you know?
Let me get one scripture in.
Hold on. Let me finish this. Bring it up. It says, and the waters shall fail fail from the sea.
That's right.
And the rivers shall be wasted and dried up. And when you go into the NLT, it talks about the Nile River in Egypt. Now, why that important? Because the Nile River, basically, that's how Egypt was fed. Okay, so that goes into the economy being destroyed, being tanked. If that Nile River dried up, all of Egypt was in a drought. All right, they were in a famine. So it says here, verse 19 or verse 6, Slake, and they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defense, right, shall be emptied and dried up. So that's that Nile River, the brooks of defense. So basically, the stock market, money, the currency, it's all going to be done.
That's right.
The reeds and flags shall wither. The paper reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away, and no more. Because that's where a lot of work was being done. That's where a lot of harvesting was being done by the brooks, by the water. Represents prophetically these people losing their jobs, as we just finished listening to. Okay. The fishers also shall mourn, again, work, and all they that cast angles into the brooks shall lament, because it's going to be dried up.
That's right.
And they that spread nets upon the waters shall languish. Moreover, they that work in fine flax and they that weave networks shall be confounded.
And it's going into your Revelation 18, when all those merchants. Right?
That's right.
Be crying, man.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Verse 10, last verse. And they shall be broken in the purpose thereof. Right, because it's not your purpose. It's also the Most High's purpose, but he's using Esau, Edom at the behest of that cruel Lord to do it.
Yeah.
It says, all that make sluices and ponds for fish. That's it. Go ahead, Bunyamin. Probably look up this word.
Yes,
yeah. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14. It says, the great day of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is near. It is near, and it hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is of wrath, a day troubled and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloomingness, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet, an alarm against the fenced cities, against the high towers. I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, and their blood shall pour out as dust, and their flesh as dung.
That's right. Beautiful.
Finish it off. 18. There's one
Okay. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver.
You had to read that one, man. You had to read that.
Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by fire, not water, of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy redundance of all them that dwell in the land.
Yep. And riddance, and you're seeing the gold and silver. That's also, you can link that to these people's jobs, because that's how they make their gold and silver.
That's right.
Right. So and you're already seeing a taste of it failing. So how much more when you're at the climax of it? And these people are all telling you to store up in gold.
Yeah.
Esau's a deceiver, man, because he knows gold doesn't do shit in a time when people need to eat and need to drink.
And you know what's funny? The guy Richard from Boston, I watch him all the time.
Yeah.
And I guess part of his sponsor is about those gold and silver bars.
Yeah.
Saying, buy gold and silver.
Yeah.
And basically, why would a person be selling you gold and silver? They're telling you should get your money at the bank and buy gold and silver. So why would they be interested in taking your paper money and giving you gold if it was?
Go ahead, slack it, brother.
No, it doesn't make sense,
You're right.
So something's up.
That's funny. That's funny.
Well, I kind of, we know why it makes sense, but we're not going to go into it. But this powerful word at the beginning of this last tape that came out, she says they're pessimists. So I was holding the word real quick. That's all I'm going to bring out, right? Because these precepts are in line in regards to the condition of these people, right? And why they do and say things what they do. So it says, one who habitually expects the worst, right? One who exaggerates the evils of life, man. So these people are bugged out.
Hey, they're hearing too much prophets of doom.
Well, that's it.
Yep.
Too much of that, right? Simply put, man. Last part of it, it says one given to melancholy or depressing views, man. So I had, but don't go there. I had Isaiah 19 and 14, right? The Lord has put a perverse spirit in the midst of Egypt. So, hey, that's what's on you people, man, right? That's what the Lord has poured out upon you wicked people. There's no hope, right?
Yep.
It's finished,
Yep.
starting with your guy at the top. Anyway, that's it. Sorry.
The scriptures say that the heart of many shall wax cold.
Cold.
Right? That word cold, Apostle Gawar brings it out often. But when you go into it, it means it goes into psycho. So people are going to go psycho. People are going to go psycho, man. That word here that I was reading earlier is seleucis. It just means higher wages, right? It goes into your wages. So when it said, so when it said, and they shall be broken in the purposes thereof, all they that make wages and ponds for fish. So,
make money, profit
exactly.
from it.
Yeah, con.
Is it a Greek word?
Bible.
No, Hebrew.
Oh, Hebrew? Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds so seleucis. Sounds so Greek.
All right, beautiful, man.
Got it.
Fine. Yeah, that's it, man. So we're gonna close up on that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. We're gonna give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh.
Yahweh, Hashem, Hashem,
Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who rule well and have taught us this word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, starting with 144,000. All right, that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. And the rest of you that sincerely believe as well. Kwama Shalom to the hopeful elect.
Shalom to the hopeful elect.